Oh my goodness. Hey, you all, it's me, Dr. Lynn Daniel, PhD, EDS. I'm the self-care evangelist. How are you all today? Hope everybody is well. All right, we are in week 5 of the course. Looks like TikTok is notifying folks that I am here live. Welcome, welcome, welcome to week 5, exploring how expectations shape self-care habits. How expectations shape self-care habits. What do you expect for yourself? What do you expect for yourself? And what do people expect of you? Let me see if I can share this thing. The live. Share the live. Let's see. Welcome everyone. I'm glad you all are here. Is anyone here yet? Hold on, let me look to see. Bum, 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 bum. Welcome, welcome. If you're here. Welcome. How are you all today? I don't want to be talking to myself. I'm typing an introduction so that new people can know who I am. I'm teaching a course for Hillman in the Hillman University online HBCU school. Like when it first started, I was in the first wave of teachers who signed up, and here I am. We are in week 5 of my 8-week course, and I'm teaching a course on self-care and social emotional wellness through the Bronfenbrenner's Ecological Systems Theory framework. That's what I am doing. So thank you for joining us. I'm typing in an introduction, so I can't see if anyone's in here or if I'm talking to myself. Thank you for joining. All right, Let's me submit it. Maybe I went over the word limit. Okay. All right. I just put that in there. Let's see if anyone's here with me. Hey, there are people. Hi, you all. I'm glad people are here. If you are new, if this is your first time joining, please put I am new in the chat, you all, because I'm teaching this course for Hillman University. My course is Self-Care and Social Emotional Wellness. We are looking at it through Bronfenbrenner's Ecological Systems Theory framework. And I know that sounds boring, that sounds academic, that sounds far-fetched, or maybe like it doesn't matter. But you all, in this course, you're learning how to become your own first case study. You are learning how to collect data, to pay attention to what you are doing with your self-care, collect data through your journal writing, through your photo diary, through all the ways you are managing your self-care. And then, so you can put some kind of report or some sort of something together that will benefit your community, whether that is you, your sister group, your parents, your siblings, your children, your cousins, your church Bible study group, your colleagues. Like, you're stepping into the role of becoming the self-care leader in your community. So this class is transformative. It's designed to make you into that new, stronger, wiser, informed self-care evangelist, just like me. All right? Or maybe even, you know what? Because we have lives that may be parallel to one another. That means they're going along the same vein, especially, if we're women of color, we're Black women, right? So our lives may not be exactly alike, but they're parallel experiences. You give birth, women give birth, generally speaking. Some women choose not to give birth. So women can be parents, women can be grandparents. I'm a grandparent. Women can be, oh, thank you. Wow, we've got a lot of folks here. Women can be wives. I used to be a wife. I'm a widow now, but women can be wives. Women can be girlfriends, babies, mamas. Women can be leaders. Our lives go along the same course of lived experiences, right? Okay, and if we have gentlemen in this group, thank you for being here. You're welcome, even though I look to teach women. You're welcome too, guys, if you're in here. So thank you all of you. Thank you for being here. Okay, if you are new, if this is your first time coming into this class, please say I am new in the chat. And I see some returnees. Becca. Hi, Becca. Doviet Chi. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Hello. It's telling me that I can invite some people. And I'm clicking on invite, but I don't see any results from clicking on invite. Oh, I can click on share. Okay. You know what? I don't want to share this on Facebook because I really don't want my family coming over here. I don't want my siblings coming over here unless they just come on their own. I don't want my cousins. I don't want my high school besties coming over here. No, this is for you all because you all found me. If you found me, if I'm on your For You page or you found me, this is for you. Okay? So thank you all. Let's see who else. Miss Chi. Hi, Miss Chi. Sheila. Shalia B901. Hi. Casey Soze is back. Welcome back. Becca 8707 is back. Welcome. Hi, God's favored. Welcome. Let's say Nisha or Nesha. Hi. Thank you all for being here. Okay, listen. So this transformative class is designed. Hey, Magic Mia. Oh, number 2 gifter. You go, Magic Mia. You go. Thank you. You all see my goal up there. My goal is 100 something flowers, hearts, or something. Because listen, when you give those little token things, that's paying for your tuition. And it's just showing, that you're finding value in the content. Because I know I try to go deep, y'all. I try to give you substance. I try to give you substance. Why? Because as a self-care evangelist, my job is to spread the good news of self-care. Like, what is it in the first place? It's more than manicures and massages and getting a pedicure and getting your hair did. It's more than getting a facial. It's self-care runs so deep. And if you look at Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems theory, That's the theory that we are using in this course to overlay self-care so we can examine self-care through the lens and see the various circles. So our microsystem, our mesosystem, our exosystem, our macrosystem, our chronosystem. There are 5 systems in Bronfenbrenner's theory, and each system interacts like they wave into each other, like the movement of waves. They impact each other. You are the main character in your self-care story, in your ecosystem. According to Bronfenbrenner, you're the main character. You are in the center of the microsystem, and everything that revolves around you is what you're examining as you are your first case study, or if you've done a case study before, you are your case study on self-care in this particular, study. So you're the main character. Now, what do you observe, main character, in your microsystem, those relationships closest to you? What do you notice? How are people treating one another? And how are they treating you? And how does it impact you, the way they treat one another? Right? Those are some of the things you pay attention to and you question. And if you see that you are in relationships that are like dysfunctional, unhealthy, disrespectful, violent, harmful, unfulfilling, lacking whatever, healthy, emotional, physical, psychological thing you need, then you start asking some questions. Self-care evangelists, self-care leaders, you start paying close attention. And then you start having those difficult conversations with yourself. Like, why am I still in this relationship? What am I getting from it? What am I getting out of it? Why does so-and-so think they can be like that with me? Now, you do more than ask the questions. Yes, you pay attention. Then you ask the questions, and I tell you to document. That's why we do a journal in this class. Now, your journal is your private record, so you don't have to submit it to me anymore in the portal. That journal is getting deep, and so that is your private data collecting tool. So you write those questions in that journal, and you ask yourself those hard questions. Why does so-and-so think they can be that way with me? Then that may lead you to start paying attention to how so-and-so behaves with the other close relationships in their life. And then your observations will help you to see, well, what kind of character, behavior patterns, priorities, and other things does so-and-so value? And then that information that you observe and you record, you're going to use it to help you make some decisions about your relationship with so-and-so. So now, the thing about this course, yes, the course is 8 weeks. We are starting week 5 today. We are exploring how expectations shape self-care habits. That's our topic for today, for this week. But you all, your self-care study can go as long as you want. You're the researcher. You're the one conducting the study. You're the one asking the questions about your self-care. You're the one deciding, okay, I am going to, like right now when we started collecting data and you were writing, you did week 0, 1, 2, and 3. Zeros 1 and 2. 0, 1, and 2. Those were the weeks when I read and gave you feedback so that you can have a strong sense of how to collect the data. So those of you who are new, collecting the data, you probably are already doing that in some form or fashion. So, don't let it freak you out collecting data. Like if you're making menus, if you go to a doctor and you get reports from the doctor's self-care plans, you are working out at the gym and you're documenting like your routine and your weight or your whatever you're measuring, you're collecting data. You're already doing it. We're just putting a little formality to it because I want you all to take this information and use it for good as a self-care leader in your community. Use it for the betterment of yourself and your community. Okay, so let me get back to the point about collecting the data. So when you start collecting the data, and the point of Bronfenbrenner, the point of having a framework, a conceptual framework, it helps you to have a clear way to look at. It helps you to have a clear understanding of what you're looking at and how you're analyzing it. So Bronfenbrenner allows you to look at your microsystem. All those, my closest relationship, my family, my mom, my dad, my siblings. How do we get along? Do we get along? How do we help one another? Do we help one another or do we not? Right? Then Bronfenbrenner may say, after you do microsystem, he's going to tell you on his framework, girl, you ain't finished collecting data because you only looked at your microsystem. Now you need to look at that mesosystem. What is outside of your closest relationship that is messing with them or impacting them or benefiting them? It doesn't have to be all negative, but researchers in academia, like when you're conducting a study, we were taught to look for like the negative, but then I learned later on that, okay, but that's not the only way to look at the data, the things you're observing. Yeah, you want to see the negative, but look at the positive too. Okay, so after you pay attention to your closest relationship, step out one level, one wave, one ecosystem out is the mesosystem. How is your school impacting you? If you're going to a school where they don't like you, they don't want you there, think about when I was a little girl. I was born in 1961. I was too little to know of Ruby Bridges back then, but just imagine Ruby Bridges, 6 years old, going to school with National Guardsmen, going to kindergarten. How did that impact Ruby Bridges and her psychological safety development and her self-identity development and her ability to feel safe and calm at school? If you can't feel safe and calm at school, how are you learning? Because in order to learn, you have got to be in a state of some level of homeostasis where things are kind of even keeled. Like your brain, you cannot be daydreaming, worrying about who wants to fight you after school or call you the N-word after school or chase you down to the bus stop. If your mind is on that, your mind is not on learning to read, write, and do arithmetic. Right? Do you all get it? So you look at it in the meso system, you're looking at those institutions in the community that impact your family, your closest relationship. So another one, let's say you live in a country, maybe somebody in here lives in a country where, or a community in the United States where you do not have a grocery store in your community, or you have no bartering system in your community to get basic needs. Now I'm going to take it another level. You have no water source other than a well, like not even a well. Let's say you live in a community where you must walk 5 miles to get water, and the water may not even be clean. All right, so in the United States, well, we have Flint, Michigan, that is still suffering with some sort of level of water safety. You all, when you look at your life through Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems theory, it forces you without harm, like it intentionally causes you to hone in on specific things in your life. You can't help but, because the man had laid out the framework for you. And if you pay attention to every ecosystem on that framework, it's going to cause you to hone in on that and start observing it and making connections. So you live in a country where you have to walk 5 miles to get water to cook with, to have clean hygiene, to clean your utensils to cook with. How are you carrying enough water for all of that? You probably are not able to carry enough water to take care of all of the needs. And in Flint, Michigan, I'm not there, and I have no one that I know that I can think of right now who is right there experiencing it. I don't know if anybody in here, I got 97 new messages. If anyone in here has knowledge of Flint, Michigan's water situation currently under today's 2025 timeline, please share, because I'm wondering, how are they able to conduct themselves, safely? And then, according to Bronfenbrenner's his framework, you have to ask the questions of, why is this still being allowed to happen like this? Who's responsible for fixing this problem, and why hasn't it been fixed? So, you all, if you paid attention to anything I just said, I just showed you in 5 minutes, 7 minutes, how self-care is more than massages and manicures. Self-care goes deep. Here's another level of self-care. Okay, so 2 weeks ago, when I came live, Super Bowl day, I was with my sister where she was in the rehabilitation center, right? And then, look, and I ended up getting very sick. I was kind of under the weather, but I ended up getting just horrifically yucked. But what I was able to note and pay attention to from her experience, I was able to observe, her psychological safety or level thereof, if she felt safe there or not, communication or lack thereof between, people there. I was able to observe a lot of things just from visiting 2 times for a few hours both times. And so if you have elderly parents or individuals in your family that you're caring for, and they have needs and they feel those needs are going unmet, or they have different things that frustrate them or that make them grumpy or hard to deal with, then you, as the self-care leader, looking through Bronfenbrenner's ecosystems, you'll be able to know, you will have a better idea. You can infer. You may not be 100% right, but based on what you observe, you can make a very good, solid inference on what you think the problem could be. You may not be 100% accurate, but you're going to be close, because Bronfenbrenner is helping you to be close. He's showing you through his system, through his ecosystems, his ecological systems theory, how to pull this stuff apart, how to look at it, question it, respond to it, and figure out some stuff. Right? Okay. So this week, boy, you know what? I probably shouldn't be drinking this. What flavor is this? I think this is orange. I'm not allergic to oranges, so why? I have coconut water, regular water, and an orange drink. No sugar. And my nose is itching. Which means,
girl, you have an allergic reaction.
Girl. Okay. So week 5, we are exploring how expectations shape self-care habits. Okay. So, if we want to look at ourselves, since we're the main character, what do people expect of us? We could take it like this. What do people expect of me? Okay, in my microsystem, in my closest relationship, what do the individuals in my closest relationship expect of me? My children, my spouse, my partner, my mate, my parents, my grandparents, or whoever that would be. Y'all give me some flowers. Show me some love up in here. Show me some love. I need some flowers. Okay, y'all give me some flowers. I don't have no flowers over there. Okay. Thank you for the hearts, Kiara. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, boss lady. Hey, Stacy. Woohoo! Hi, Stacy. It's good to see you in here. All right. Oh, look, she's so sweet. She called me smart lady. Girl, you know what? I just found safety being with the nerds when I was younger. I did. I found safety being with the nerds. So they adopted me, and I'm a pseudo nerd. I'm not really a nerd, but I'm a fake nerd or a pseudo nerd. Yeah. And I respect them for their love of learning and how they're passionate, how they have a passion for something. And so, yeah, I just kind of adopted their ways. Because one thing I know about the nerds that I put myself in close proximity to, they were so welcoming of everybody. And when I was young, I was a sickly child, and I had to learn I couldn't do what all the other kids, the faster kids, right? The kids who were socially popular and whatever, good at sports and all that stuff. I couldn't do what they did. And y'all know how athletes are. You all know how people who are really popular and cool in the in crowd, they have very little tolerance for nerds or bookworms or people who are different, right? So I didn't feel safe around those kind of people. But the nerds accepted me, so they adopted me. So thank you, Stacy. I'm only smart because of them. All right. So you all, in those of you who are officially in the course and you have access to the portal, you will see what I have in there so far, which is very little. Each week in my mind, I'm trying to pull away from giving you all too much information. But listen, last week, week 4, I made you all like 2 or 3 videos, and you all have a lot of content in for week 4 that will help you. So do as much as you can, and remember, even though the course is 8 weeks, your self-care study can go as long as you want. It can go the whole year, and you can revisit the content in here, download it so you can have it on your own devices. Okay, so this week I have in there facilitating self-reflection. It's an article, facilitating self-reflection about values and self-care among individuals with chronic conditions. So this is talking about or showing you how individuals with multiple chronic conditions experience the overwhelming burden of treating those conditions and frequently disagree with their providers on priorities for their care. So it's looking at how they manage that and then what they value. So value is important because it helps you to know what's important, what you prioritize. And then last week when I was talking about the C model, the SEE, the social, emotional, and ethical learning model, and I put this in the portal for you all. If you have access to the portal, you all listen. This model brings in ethics. It brings in the idea of being ethical. And don't let that word frustrate you. Don't let it trigger you to think, oh, somebody think they're better or whatever, they're snooty, haughty or what. Nope, that's not what it's saying. It's showing us that when we understand the power of being ethical and we start adopting ethical mindsets and actions, it increases our wisdom. It increases our discernment. It helps us to be able to determine quickly what is right for us and what is not right for us. Because in self-care, we have to be able to understand what our gut is saying. And then, so sometimes our gut talks to us and we don't know what it means. So we help ourselves out by increasing our understanding of what it is that we should be paying attention to. And these frameworks give us glasses to put on so we will know what it is that we are looking at. So the C model from last week, week 4, will help you to understand what you value, so what you prioritize, what is important to you, and then it helps you to examine your level of ethics. So your ethics, it helps you to be able to look at information you get. How ethical is it? Is it credible? Is it trustworthy? Is it accurate? Is it right for me? Because it could be all of those things, but it's not right for you. It won't meet your need. It won't take you along to the answer you need. But it might work for someone else. So this is what I mean by the C model from last week. The element of being ethical, it increases your wisdom. Now, all you do, you pivot that you take those glasses with you everywhere. Is this ethical? Am I using my best judgment here? You meet an individual, you meet someone, and you talk to that person. If you put on your ethical lenses, go in there and see what exercises, what actions it gives you to help you to increase your ethics and to be able to determine your level of ethics. Then you have those lenses on, you be able to talk to a person, not 3 months, not 6 months, not 5 years. You will be able to talk to that individual, observe that individual, look at that individual and judge. Judge? Don't judge me. That's wrong. It's not wrong. You're supposed to judge. Self-care evangelists, self-care leaders, you have to judge. You are not condemning. That's the difference. People say, don't judge me, when I think they really mean, don't condemn me. We're not condemning you, baby child. Nope. But I have to judge you. I have to judge if what you are offering is right for my life. If what you are saying is right for me. If what you are proposing works for my family and the closest relationships to me. If what you are offering me to get involved with is going to positively impact my meso system, my job, my school, my church, my grocery store, or whatever is in your community of influence that directly impacts your family and your closest relationship. If this person you meet, or even somebody in your immediate family, proposes something to you and you have no lens to judge it, you might just go along with it. Mm-hmm. But when you use the C learning model, and this shows you how to see if it's right for you, you use that model. And you will not be wasting your time waiting on somebody to see if they're right for you. You won't get played. You won't get hurt. Maybe you will, or maybe you'll make a misstep. Maybe you'll make an error. That's a part of the learning curve. But you, researcher, you're documenting in your journal. You met this person on January 2, 2021. And by January 2, 2025, they're still around swinging you around with false promises. Well, at least now you know, so you can make an informed decision now. But now that you know, you can go back and look at this information. And this is free. This is from Emory University Center for Contemplative Science and Compassion-Based Ethics. This is free online. Just go find it. Just type in the C learning model. Type that in. And this is free from Emory University. And use it. Self-care evangelists, self-care leaders in your families. Use it. Okay? All right. Now, the other thing I want to say, so we're going to go back to this week about the expectation. Because, if we are one way for a long time with people, like even with ourselves, like if we're forgiving, because I know for me, I'm a very forgiving person. I'll forgive and I'll forget. And so I'm aware of that. And so now I'm telling myself, Lynn, it's cool to forgive, but you better not forget. You better not forget what it is that they did. You have to, Lynn, you have to remember so you are knowledgeable about how you will engage with them. So that's something that I became aware of in my self-study, right? My case study of myself. And that's something that I constantly pay attention to in relationships, all across the board, in every ecosystem. So you're going to become more self-aware about how you have been engaging with people. And so this week, expectations says, now we need to look at how people expect us to behave. And so if we've been behaving a certain way with people and like we're too forgiving, they don't deserve it, then we need to figure out a plan on how to change that, to make that more applicable or more beneficial for us. And listen, you all, yeah, some of these things are uncomfortable, and the hard conversations have to happen sometimes. Sometime, if not today, sometime in the future. The difficult conversations with yourself are going to happen. And like, this is why I say, those of you in this course, if you don't have a team that you can go to cry with, or to share your deepest, darkest, whatever secrets, or if you don't have somebody to pray with you, or if you don't have someone to teach you how to like meditate or read the word of God and like get centered on the promises, or say affirmation, or speak declarations, or like, if you don't have that level of self-care, then I advise you to start looking at who can team up with you. Because when you start getting into the real nitty-gritty work, you're going to be crying. If you haven't already had some tears, you are going to go there in your emotions. This is real work. It's real work. Have I gotten any flowers? Let me, I have trifocals on you. I'm not bifocals. Oh, 2 flowers. All right. Woo! I got 2 flowers. I need 98 more flowers. Y'all give me some flowers, please. Help me get to my goal of 98 flowers. 100 flowers total. Okay. So back to what I was saying. You all, this course, this self-care course, is designed to transform you. You are going to change. You can't help but, if you're doing the work. And do not beat yourself up if you're not keeping pace with the course. Don't beat yourself up. That's counterproductive. Like, if you feel like you need to address that, then address it with a plan. Like, you observe how you're handling the course. Like, you pay attention to if you're not prioritizing it and why. And then you know what is it that you are doing instead of the coursework. And then you examine. Okay, well, I'm watching TikTok 4 hours instead of doing the coursework. And then you have to question that. Well, why are you prioritizing TikTok over the coursework? And it could be that you're on a 4-hour live because you have a goal to earn so much money. Okay, so that makes sense, right? And then you may say, well, okay, I haven't addressed the coursework. I will pick an hour over the weekend to do it. That's my plan. I'll put it on my agenda. I'll put it on the calendar in my phone. I'll set an appointment with myself. You do all the actions to help you carry that through, and boom, right? Because that's you showing what you value when it comes to your self-care. So you don't have to beat yourself up, or you may feel bad, like, man, I'm way behind. I haven't kept up. You might feel bad about it, but 2 things could be true at the same time. You feel bad about it, but you also feel hopeful. Like, man, I feel bad that I'm 2 weeks behind, but I feel hopeful that I can go over this material, go over this stuff. understand some of it and make improvements in my day, in my life. So yeah, I don't, I really want you all to not feel bad about, like, well, no, not that's not what I mean. You can feel bad, but don't feel like you're overwhelmed with defeat. Yeah, make a plan. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the portal. Exploring how expectations shape self-care habits. So like for real, like if you have no expectations of yourself in this course or anything, I expect to, if you're taking a course at a university that you're paying for or somebody's paying for, and then you're getting like a grade or something, you better set some expectations. I expect to earn an A from this course. I expect to get my work done. I expect to walk my dogs every day. I expect to clean up the poop and disinfect the dog pen or whatever, like, right? And then Bronfenbrenner wants us to look at, okay, don't just look at what you expect. You have other players. You're the main character, but there are other characters and players in your life. You got to look at how do their expectations that they impose upon you, what are they wanting you to do? Or what do they might want you to fail? They might think, oh, I don't want her to improve because if she improves, then she ain't going to let me live here rent free. I won't be able to eat her food without buying groceries if she improves her self-care awareness. My time is short if she gets better. There are some people like that in the world. Right? Ooh, I don't want him to understand that he doesn't value himself the highest that he could. Because I've known him for 10 years. And over those 10 years, that chronos system, you'll understand that time, the chronos system, Bronfenbrenner, teaches us to put on the lens of the chronos system and look at our lives over time. Look at these systems over time and how they have impacted us. So if you have long-standing relationships, you've established pattern actions and behaviors and mindsets, and those people know that. So if they know you, then they have expectations of you. You better do what I say when I say it. And you're an adult. You're not a child. You're an adult. And that's their tone. And that's how they value you. You better give me what I want when I ask. So then you say, oh, they expect me as a 40-year-old individual to act like a 14-year-old individual or maybe a 4-year-old individual. And we're not having that. Now that I'm aware that's what that tone means. So you may have a conversation with them. Well, here is what I am able to do for you regarding your need or whatever. Right? Thank you. Thank you. All right, so thank you for joining, Lydia, Kiara. Thank you for liking, Kiara. Domino, thank you, Domino, for coming back. Chandra is here. Welcome. Christian Mac is here. Let's see. Siloki. Let me look at my trifocals. Siloki. Hey, Siloki. Hope I'm saying that right. Okay, let me see. Boss Lady Stace, that's my friend. The Grit Guru, you all need to check her out. She is wonderful. Her self-care routine. Stacy has really taken the reins over her physical health. Yeah, her self-care plan is solid, right? And so that's one thing I really like, finding people who are working their life plan. And like, it's not going to be perfect, you all. Of course, you know that. But I feel like I need to articulate that, because sometimes people do expect you to fail. That's why sometimes I just don't say nothing. I just take it on quietly. And then, you know how sometimes you have people who always, they just know what you're doing. Some kind of way they have an idea of what you're doing. Like, how do you know what I'm doing? Who told you? And I ain't told nobody. But some people, you will have those people in your life who are highly intuitive, and they know that you're changing. And, you know, they might just start looking at you differently, more attentively. And then there are some people who, they don't want you to get better, because they're going to lose something if you get better. But they really don't have to lose anything if you change how you engage with them. But that's what they may feel, that if so-and-so understands that I just want to live in their house rent-free and not buy groceries, then I'm going to have to start paying rent and buying groceries. And then you may say, well, you don't have the means to do that. So then maybe we can barter. And you will now be in charge of maybe fixing some things around the house. And here, let's make a schedule of you fixing things around the house. And, you know, have that I mean, you know, hey, really, you all. There's so many ways that we can skin the animal. There's so many ways that you can chop up the apple, if you will, or whatever, skin the apple. All right. So facilitating those conversations, that self-reflection piece for this week, having those difficult conversations with your team, your family, the people who, like, I haven't even really talked about, like, in the when you look at the exosystem. So let me pull that up. I wish I could. I need to. Well, I don't need to do nothing, but it would be nice if I would take the time to teach myself how to, like, put those pictures in the background and all of those things like I see folks doing. But I just really haven't taken the priority to do that. But I want to go back into week, let's see, and pull up this ecosystem map. And boom, boom, boom. Okay. Because, so you all, and this is very relevant to where we are in today's time. Do you realize that your exosystem includes your local governments? And so self-care includes us engaging with our local governments on whatever level you feel safe doing that. And under today's climate, I'm seeing more and more people do that. I know yesterday, Bernie Sanders hosted a town hall meeting. I believe it was held in Nebraska, but he live streamed it. And those were citizens who voted for the current situation and I guess came to some kind of epiphany. And I don't think they all were that, but Some of them were that. And so that's the exosystem. Engaging with your local government right there in their community. And then Bernie Sanders, of course, is an independent from Vermont. So he's not in their local community, but the state of Nebraska must have some sort of impact on the electoral college or something. I know Iowa does, and I don't know. I was gonna say Rhode Island, but listen, it's been 100 years and dog years since I've even gone over all of that stuff. But on Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems theory, he is showing us that our exosystem includes the mass media. All right, so we can count social media like TikTok has quickly become a reliable source of media for us, for many of us, especially prior to January 19th. It's changed since then, but still, local governments, mass media, extended family, parents, friends are all a part of your exosystem. And your exosystem impacts your mesosystem. Like they wave in and out, you all, like plasma or pulses, pulsating impacts, right? Yeah. So, school boards, your school, your children's school board, local police, law enforcement, all of that. Yeah, this is self-care. What this got to do with self-care? A lot. Self-care is deep. It's deep. Your macro system, social norms, societal norms, economic systems, culture, and political systems. So if you know that what is going on currently is stressing you out, making you feel fearful or any kind of way, as you're the self-care leader in your family, you have to take a look at it. You don't just stay in those feelings like, oh, I'm scared, or oh, I'm something. You're going to have a reaction. You acknowledge what that reaction is. You acknowledge the reaction. I feel disappointed. I feel betrayed. I feel let down. I feel whatever. Frustrated, angry, whatever. And then you start digging on it. You delve into it. You pay attention to the triggers or the things that cause that, because that's showing you, okay, what you value in the macro system. Okay? And you all can find Bronfenbrenner's the map, this a physical or a digital copy of this mapped out for you. Go to simplypsychology.org. Go to simplypsychology.org and put in Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems theory map or web. And this is free online. This is a framework that researchers use. Bronfenbrenner, back in the early 1960s, he presented in front of Congress to advocate for Head Start. So it was his study that got us the Head Start programs. Yeah. So if it wasn't for him taking a look and developing this framework to analyze the impact of all of these things on the individual, we may not have ever gotten Head Start programs. Because at a time, he was trying to show that, well, poverty is an influence, but it's more than just poverty. Look at how did the poverty even come along? What laid the groundwork for poverty to even be a thing, an issue? What is impacting the adults in the household, preventing them for tackling down poverty? Like, what is the barrier between the adults in the household and their fiscal safety or financial safety? Like, what's keeping them in poverty? Like, his framework helped us to get Head Start programs that we still have today, unless within recent weeks they've been dismantled. I've been busy looking at everything. I know I'm an educator and I'm under the Department of Education. That impacts what I do. And here he is dismantling it, holding back money from us, and seeing programs be impacted, negatively impacted. IEPs, 504s. Yeah, okay. So this is self-care, students. Y'all didn't even know self-care got this deep, did you? It does. Because anything that's going to impact your social, emotional well-being, anything that impacts that impacts your self-care. Some people get so bummed out to where they're on the sofa or in the bed and they're not even taking a bath. And if you don't take a bath, I think I said this in week 0, if you don't bathe yourself, you have bacteria overgrowth on your body, which then perpetuates sickness and illness. This is self-care. Now, thank you. Thank you for liking Mushroom. Thank you for liking the live. Okay, now, another thing I want to say that's sort of like a side note, but is not. A few months ago, maybe in January, maybe in December, a few months back, someone just parked in front of my home like, what are you doing? I'm being nosy. Join us on the live, sweetheart. Join us on the live. Okay, a few months back on TikTok, everybody was talking about that soap, that disinfectant. It comes in bars and it comes in liquid. And what's the name of it? Netol or Petol or something. Listen, I watched enough of those videos and people talking about that product and showing you the correct way to use it. Like, people from certain parts of the globe knew how to use it because they said it was a staple in their homes when they were growing up, and they were giving you tips on how to use it. And so I paid attention to that. And I said, okay, and it wasn't cheap either. It was sort of like pricey for soap, like $15 a container, like a bottle, a jug of this liquid soap. I said, okay, I'm gonna give it a try, because the people in the Caribbean were saying, oh, it's gonna get rid of this, it'll help you get, and so I said, I'm gonna get it, because I had a toe fungal on one of my toes, on only one. I mean, it was just on that one toe. And I did what I could to fix it, but it was still there. I got that Dettol or whatever the name of it is. I bought that. You all. I put a little bit, I started putting it in my bath water. Because I know some people don't like taking baths, but I'm old school. When I was a little girl, my great-grandmother used to bathe us, and we would just fuss because she would put that soap on that washcloth and just try to rub the brown off our bodies. She really got us little dirty kids outside playing dusty, dirty, smelling like puppy kids. She taught us how to bathe well, so that's a practice. I enjoy taking baths, and I use special soaps that don't film up and cause junk floating around. So I bought that soap off the TikTok shop. And you all, boom. I don't know how fast it worked, but when I noticed, I don't have that fungal on that toe anymore. And I know it worked fast. I'm thinking it worked fast. Like, if I was using it every day, just a little bit, just not even a full cap full, just like, not even half a cap, just a little bit in the bath water every day. And yes, I clean the tub after each bath. So I'm just telling y'all, I clean the tub after each bath because I don't want no germs. That became a part of my self-care routine. And that soap worked and got rid of that toe fungus. So the point I'm making is, you're going to learn, you're on this journey, you're going to learn how to, like, over the course of time, that's the chronal system, your awareness, your self-awareness will increase to where you will understand and know that your self-care routine and program will need to be modified or adjusted, improved, and changed. It will change. And then you may have to start making some kind of monetary investments in things that you discover, like you do some research, you take steps to evaluate it and make a judgment to see if it's right for you, and then you try it, and because you've increased your ethical awareness, your judgment and your wisdom will improve, and more than likely you'll be making wins more so than not. And even if you do make a misstep because you misjudged something, because you didn't get enough information about it, because it required just a little more digging or investigating, then now you know. So yeah. I just wanted to share that. Ooh, y'all, we are over 4 o'clock. We are over 1 hour. Who else has joined? Finesse. Hi, Finesse Sinclair. Tips by K. Hi, Tips by K. You all, these names be... Some of these names would be like cool restaurants or bands. Let's see. Hi, Rashawn Fain. Hi, Dobbs. Marita Catrice. Misunderstood. That would be a cool clothing line, Misunderstood. That would be a cool journal. The lines, like the name of journals, self-care journals, Misunderstood. I like that, girl. Hi, Miley. Let's see. Tips by K. That would be Tips by K. Tips by K. That's a brand name on something, girl. You better you better get that. What is that? They say you should get it patented, not patented. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Lakeisha Earls. Hey, Leah. Hey, Latora Barnes. Welcome back. Dobbs. Welcome back, Dobbs. Dobbs. All right, Dobbs could be something like some kind of snack, some kind of drink, snack. Like, ooh, I'm going to have my Dobbs with my dinner. Go on, Dobbs. Eric and Vanessa. Hey. Joy Latrice. Welcome. All right. Dobbs is kind of handsome, too. I'm looking at that picture. Go on, Dobbs. Z. Welcome, lovely Liz. I am Babs. Hey, I am Babs. Welcome. I am Babs 2020. That sounds like a cool name too for something. I am Babs. What could that be? I am Babs. That could be a t-shirt line. I am Baps. I used to like that movie Baps with Halle Berry and the young lady who passed away a few years back. I used to really like Baps. I thought it was just that the hair. Oh my goodness, those big high artsy hairspray to stiffness hairdos. All right, you all. Well, I think that is it for today. Siafi Sweets. Oh, Siafi Sweets. That sounds like a bakery. Lovely Liz sounds like a line too. Lovely Liz. Could be flowers, a flower shop. Lovely Liz. All right, you all. Thank you all for coming to class today. I did not make my 100 flowers. Oh, I didn't get my goal of flowers. But thank you all who joined, who liked the live. Thank you all so much. And yeah, so in the portal, those of you who you have access to the portal. The content is in there. I don't think I'm going to put any more in there unless I make a video during the week, and that I will then. But if you haven't in prior weeks looked at all the content in the portal, just, schedule it to go look at something, because, hey, it's going to help you. All right, you all. Have a great week, blessed week. May you go in power and prosperity. May you go in the spirit of truth. And may you put on your ethical lenses so you can make good judgment and have victory over whatever you need to have victory over. All right, you all. Be blessed.